The reason I'm laughing is because I just made an intro here and realized that I just took a picture. So I sat there and talked for a couple minutes without nothing happening. Anyhow, today I wanted to welcome you back to Chuck's workshop, and what we're working on today is my hoglet engine, and what I'm doing is working on the camshaft. Uh, I had put it off for quite some time, but finally one day I just said, you know what? Let's get after this thing. Let's make it happen. Let's see what we can do. And basically went after it and realized it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. It was a little gray matter that needed to be woken up and help me through it. But besides that, it really wasn't as bad as I thought. So, if there's people that have advice or anything like that, please leave it down in the comments because, like I said, I am an amateur. So, and that's probably why I was so afraid to even do this, but it worked out pretty well. And, please like and subscribe if there's anything you like about the video. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. I am working on my camshaft for my hoglet. I'll have to admit, because of the craziness that I've never done this before, I'm holding my camera by hand, that's why it's shaky. But I did the one lobe, and it looks pretty good. So now I have to do the other lobes, but they have to be, this one next in the middle has to be 113 degrees from the tip of this one to the tip of the middle. So let's see how that works. My tool got kind of rusty, so I had to do some stuff to it. But let me free all this up. So here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 11, 12, 13. So, oh boy, here we go. I'm going to get to the other side and we will test everything and then we're going to start chopping away at her. So I have to change the bit, and that's the bit I use to center find. So now I'll change that over, and I had to make a tool. Of course, I think I spend more time making tools than I do working. And that tool is an extension arbor for the end mill. So no, I need the 5/8. Need to move the camera again. Now I'll get that in editing. There we go. So what I did, and I hope it works, is I had to make this little arbor here. It's just an extension for that. I made it from 3/4 inch stock and I put it down to 5/8 just because of my room. So I'm going to hopefully have the best. Oh, come on, really? Best solution, but of course not. 23, 25 is where I got to go back to. There we go. Now let's tighten this thing first. Let's see how this is going to work. I don't want to extend it too far. I want some rigidity. Alright, now I'm going to check this one. I'm going to go back to my number here though. The number here is the center of the blank. So we got to go 23, 25, or thereabouts. All right, now, just for shits and grins, let me just make sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That should work. I'm going to have to take light cuts, I know that, so let me bring this back to here. How am I going to do this now? This whole blank is going to be one lobe. So do I go back and forth this way? Yes, I think so. Well, I can't over here. Normally you would go back and forth like this, like this, like this normally. And I thought I could do that, but I don't think so. So let me get this down to where we need to be as far as the height. I can zero my cutter. So that's the zero. Now I have to go 90 degrees from that to start my cuts. So I sure wish that I could recenter that. So let's go from 25, 90 degrees, and then 3, 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm sure I'm right in the way. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then we're going to go back. 1, 2. Oh, there's 3 right there. That's 93. So we're turning it this way. So that means we got to cut like this. So before I go crazy here, I am going to recheck my measurements because I really don't want to do this twice. Okay, we are hopefully going to finish this camshaft. So let's see how it goes. It'll be a surprise, I guess, when it comes to the end and it works perfectly, right? You got to take from here down, we got to go 0.645, and that will give us a little bit of gap that the lifter won't ride on the actual shaft. So here we go. Take 10 at a time. And this bit is just not quite wide enough. So I'm going to do that. And you got to meet in the middle. Now we're going to go 180 degrees. Made little marks on my wheel because part of the wheel is rusty. So back. Now take another twin. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it is, but seems to be working pretty well. It's kind of nerve-wracking, to be honest, but I'm feeling better about it. We are now at 0.060 on this cut, and the final one I'll take just a skimming. Now we get to start making the lobe. So we are going to move this at 5-degree intervals, and this is the one that takes a while. So I'm going to do the other side first. Let's go. Skim cut I was talking about. But we're okay. Definitely okay. Now we have to do barely taking anything now, which is good. And 20. So 30, 10, 20, 30, about 35. And this should be our final on this side, which it is. Alright, now go back to our original, not there. We have to go back to our original over here, which is on my machine right there. 15. So now we're going to do 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. In. So we're at 10. This will be want to. I'm going to show you, hopefully, what I'm trying to obtain here. Come on, baby, focus. Come on. Come on. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But I marked a little line right here. Now this is the top, the very top of the lobe right there. I know you probably can't see it. I don't know how we're going to focus that thing there. How could I possibly get it focused? Sorry guys. So you see that little, the blue, and then right below it there's a scribe, and that scribe is the very center of the lobe. Now if you look at the other side, we have milled up to that point, and that's what I aim to be on this point when I do the 20 more thousandths. And then you just take a file and you round it, or just smooth it out. You don't really round it too much over, but that's where we're at. So let's make her happen. Let's just see where I'm at. 1, there's 20. So almost there. This is 35. Man, I love it when a plan comes together, baby. This is 40. Right to our line. Wow. That is just what I wanted. Boy, oh boy, that's nice. That is nice. One more to go, and then we can shorten this shaft, and then do what? Get her cleaned up and filed and sanded and polished, and I think I might try to polish it. I'm not positive, but I think it would run better polished. It's not like it's going to be a working engine. It'll be just a toy. Just a toy. There is my 0 right there. Alright, I'll get back to you. Working on the last lobe. Last one. that we are done, the boys and the girls. Wow, that's pretty nice. You almost would think I know what I'm doing, but that is far from the truth. Far from the truth. Now let's get the masterpiece out of here and see what she looks like. And I can do alright, where are we? There we are. Nice. Very nice. All my little center marks are marked perfectly. So I believe that we have a winner. I believe we have a winner. Just gotta cut it to length. Clean up the faces, you know, the milling marks. It's not too bad. Pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. But all my centers are still there. So I got them in the right spot, I'm hoping. Don't know how good I am at following directions. But let me get that cleaned up and I'll show you what it looks like when I finish. Okay, we are back. Let's see if I can try to keep this in focus. There's too much stuff going on here. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know if that's any better. Don't know if that's any better. We'll give it a shot. So anyhow, what I did, and this lobe here I've already done. Come on, focus up, sweetheart. I put blue on all this, and then I just filed it smooth. You can see some highs and lows. Got my lathe stuck in the lowest gear so it doesn't spin on me, and I'm just using a triangle file. This one is for the smaller lobes, and then I have a little bit bigger one, and I'm going to use that on this one. So what I'm going to do is right now turn it around to get the other lobe. I'm going to start on the one side and just move around. So I don't imagine you're going to want to watch this whole thing, but you can see where there's a little low spot there. And I'm trying to keep the file as flat as possible, but it comes off pretty easy. I went and bought brand new files, just so you know. Not with doing it some 30-year-old file I've had in the toolbox forever. So when I do this, I kind of roll it to follow the cut. And as you can see, it's starting to work pretty well. Doesn't take long, but it gets rid of any high spots or low spots or whatever, however you want to say it.
wear out on you. So I hope I get some commenters on this. Looks pretty good. Might be a little high there. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to polish this. I do have a big polisher, but I don't know if that's going to be like way too much for this. So it came pretty flat. See that little mark right there, little? See, I'm wondering if I ought to. They're milling marks. I can see them. So I think I'm going to put that back in and hit that a little better. But the milling marks pretty much look gone on the rest. Still a few rough spots, but I think maybe the polish will get rid of them. I'll do a little more work on the tip on this. Just the high spot of the lobe. Just looks a little funky. Okay. Next step. I don't think I'll have the ability to have you sitting there when I polish it, but because of where the polisher's at, but I'll get back to you. Alright, so I tried it a few different ways, and what I ended up doing is I have some medium, some medium paper, and I'm going to go both ways and with light pressure, and hopefully I'm going at a very slow speed. It seems to be polishing up quite nicely. I'm going to turn the lathe in the other direction just so it'll look nicer both ways. This is medium emery, just to get some of the bigger scratches out from the file, and I'm going to hit it with maybe some 400 here. I'm not sure. A little 400 and some oil, and let's see how that works. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know why it wouldn't, but we're going to give it a shot right now. WD. The all-purpose stuff, I'm not going 1,000 miles an hour. I would say it looks pretty good. Like I always say, we're not going to Mars with this thing. Might power up the coffee pot, but that's about it. I don't even know if it'll do that. I think we're going to call it. I'm not going to go crazy on that because I've seen rougher stuff on camshafts in cars, to be honest. So